Hello, guys. I'm so sorry that, as the situation of COVID-19 is getting more and more serious in Europe, I have to cancel some trips. So I have to do it online for you. Please forgive me, okay? Now let's look at today. I'm going to introduce some cities in Germany: Xanten, Bonn, and Cologne. Xanten. Xanten is a town in the state of the North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. It is located in the district of Wesel. It is known for the archaeological park, one of the largest archaeological open-air museums in the world, built at the site of the Roman settlements, Colonia Oppia Trainana. Other attractions include the medieval town center with Xanten Cathedral, many museums, and large man-made lakes for various water sport activities. Xanten is visited by approximately 1 million tourists a year. The country it belongs in Germany and in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. The administration region is Düsseldorf, and the district is Wesel. The subdivisions into 6 Stadtbezirke, and the government, the mayor is Thomas Goetz from CDU, the Christian Democratic Union. And the area is of about 72,39 square kilometers, with the population of about 21,607, and the vehicles is WES. When you see this in Europe, the 3 letters is a small town, 2 letters is a little city, and 1 letter is a large city. So let's talk about the history of Xanten. The Middle Ages. In the 5th century, the Franks began to settle in the area of today's Xanten, but no urban settlements have been found from this time, as the Franks didn't build in stone, unlike the Romans. Only graves from this time have been discovered. In 939, troops under Otto I, King of Germany, defeated rebellious Frankian, Saxon, and Lotharingian troops under Eberhard of Franconia in the Battle of Britain near Xanten. Following the Battle of Andernach the same year, the Rhineland was reaffirmed to the Kingdom of Otto I. Xanten had a Jewish community in early medieval times. In 1263, the foundation stone for the Gothic St. Victor Cathedral was laid. After 281 years of construction, it was finally completed in 1544. By the end of the 14th century, Xanten was surrounded by a town hall. In 1392, The northern part of the town came into the possession of the Dukes of Cleves, while the southern part remained with the Archbishop of Cologne. The division of Xanten was the cause of a conflict between Cleves and Cologne, which ended when the whole of Xanten was awarded to the Duchy of Cleves in 1444. The early modern period. In the 17th century, Xanten was inherited by the Margraviate of Brandenburg. Protestantism was placed on an equal footing with the Roman Catholic Church, as confirmed by the Treaty of Xanten on the 12th November 1614. Thereupon, a church was built at the Grosser Markt, which was expanded with the spire in 1622. Nevertheless, at the beginning of the 20th century, only 5% of the population were of Protestant. By the beginning of the 21st century, the Protestant share of the population had increased to some 20%. In the 19th and early 20th century, in 1802, the Victor Convent was secularized by Napoleon Bonaparte, and the libraries of closed monasteries and the convent library were merged. After that, the economic situation deteriorated more rapidly. A town gate called the Master was torn down in 1821, and the Chateau and parts of the town walls were removed in 1825. The removal of the Clever Tor and a mill called Kriemhildmühle was prevented by a town council in 1843. And in the post-World War II, in 1975, the archaeological park Xanten, a partial reconstruction of the Roman colonial Upia Traina, was established and opened for tourism. On the 28th November 1988, Xanten was granted the title of Staatlich anerkannter Erholungsort as the first such town in the region of Düsseldorf between 1990 and 2004. The number of inhabitants rose from 16,930 to about 22,000. This is Xanten, the ruins of the Roman open air theater, and beside here is the man-made lake. The Conceal Party, the CDU, Christian Democratic Union, it is 16 seats in the city council in the recent election. And the SPD, the Social Democratic Party Germany, it shares about 8 seats. And the local initiative, the 5 seats. And Alliance 90, the Greens, 3 seats. FDP, the Free Democratic Party, is about 1 seat. And to the left, also 1 seat. The BBX is also 2 seats. Okay, Xanten is twinned with Gouy in Belgium, Santes in France, and Salisbury in the United Kingdom, and Beit Sahor in the Palestine National Authority. No. This is also the Romans. You see the columns, the typical Roman buildings, but it's ruined. This is Clever Tor, and this is the Xanten Dome, the Xanten Cathedral, also called the Saint Victor Cathedral in Gothic style, and the inside of this church. And now let's take a look about the Bonn. The federal city of Bonn, in Latin is Bonn, is a city on the banks of the Rhine in the German state of North Rhine-Westphalia, with a population of over 300,000, about 24 kilometers south or southeast of Cologne. Bonn is in the southernmost part of the Rhine-Ruhr region, Germany's largest metropolitan area, with over 11 million inhabitants. It is famous known as the birthplace of Ludwig van Beethoven in 1770. He spent his childhood and teenage years in Bonn. In country Germany, state North Rhine-Westphalia, administration region Cologne, district, urban district, government. The major is Ashok Alexander Sridharam from CDU. Area is about 141.06 square kilometers, with population 329,673, and BN for the autos. The history, founding and Roman times. The history of the city dates back to Roman times. In about 12 BC, the Roman army appears to have stationed a small unit in what is presently the historical center of the city. Even earlier, the army had resettled members of a Germanic tribal group allied with Rome, the Ubi in Bonn. The Latin name for that settlement, Bona, may stem from the original population of this and many other settlements in the area, the Ebroni. During the final decades of imperial rule, the troops were supplied by France, employed by the Roman administration. When the end came, these troops simply shifted their allegiances to the new barbarian rules, the kingdom of the Franks. From the fort, the Bomburg, as well as from the new metal settlement to the south centered around what later became the Minister, grew the metal city of Bonn. Local legends arose from this period that the name of the village came from Saint Bonfile via word Latin Bonifacia, but this proved to be a myth. The history. In the Middle Ages and early modern times, between the 11th and 13th centuries, the Roman style Bonn Minster was built, and in 1597 Bonn became the seat of the Archdiocese of Cologne. The city gained more influence and grew considerably. The city was subject to a major bombardment bombardment during the siege of Bonn in 1689, the Elector Clemens August ordered the construction of a series of Baroque buildings which still give the city its character. In 1794, the city was seized by French troops, becoming a part of the First French Empire. In 1815, following the Napoleonic Wars, Bonn became part of the Kingdom of Prussia, administered within the Prussian Rhine province. The city became part of the German Empire in 1871 during the Prussian unification of Germany. Bonn was of little relevance or in these years. 20th century and the Bonn Republic. After the Second World War, Bonn was in the British zone of occupation, following the advocacy of West Germany's first Chancellor Konrad Adenauer, a former Cologne major and a native of that area. Bonn became the de facto capital, officially designed the temporary seat of the federal institutions of the newly formed Federal Republic of Germany in 1949. However, the Bundestag, seated in Bonn's Bundeshaus, affirmed Berlin's status as the German capital. Bonn was chosen as the provincial capital and seat of government, despite the fact that Frankfurt already had most of the required facilities, and using Bonn was estimated to be 95 million German mark, more expensive than using Frankfurt. Bonn was chosen because Adenauer and other prominent politicians intended to make Berlin the capital of the reunified Germany, and felt that locating the capital in a major city like Frankfurt or Hamburg would imply a permanent capital and weaken support in Western Germany for reunification. The Bonn in the Berlin Republic. From 1990 to 1999, Bonn served as the seat of government of reunited Germany. In recognition of its former status as German capital, it holds the name of Federal City. Bonn currently shares the status of Germany's seat of government with Berlin, with the president, the chancellor, and many government ministers maintaining large presence in Bonn. Over 8,000 of the 18,000 federal officials remain in Bonn. A total of 19 United Nations institutions operate from Bonn today. This is Bonn. This is the Rhine River. The yellow is once was the palace, but now it belongs to the Bonn University. And this is the church, this old town center. The talk about politics about Bonn in the city council. The city council of Bonn used to be based in the Rococo style and 1737 built out as Rathaus, the old city hall, adjacent to Bonn's central market square. However, due to the enlargement of Bonn in 1969 through the incorporation of Boy and Bad Godesberg, it moved into the larger Stadthaus facilities further up north. This was necessary for the city council to accommodate the increased number of representatives. The mayor of Bonn still sits in the Altes Rathaus, which is also used for representative and official purposes. As of the 2014 to 2020 election cycle, the Christian Democrats hold a plurality of mandates in the city council, 27 seats, followed by the Social Democrats SPD with 20 seats, the Greens with 15 seats, and the Liberals with 7 seats, and the Left with 5 seats, the local Bürgerbund Bonn with 4 seats, the Alternative for Germany AFD with 3 seats, and independent candidates with a total of 4 seats. There are currently 86 seats in the City Council of Bonn. The Stadthaus, home of the City Council of Bonn, Landtag election. 4 delegates represent the federal city of Bonn in the Landtag of North Rhine-Westphalia. The last election took place in May 2012. The current candidates are von Bernhard von Grünberg, SPD, Renate Hendricks, SPD, Joachim Stamp, FDP, and Rolf Boy, the Grün. The German federal election. Bonn's constituency is called Bundeswahlkreis Bonn, number 96. In the German federal election 2017, Ulrich Käbe from SPD was elected a member of German federal parliament, the Bundestag, by direct mandate. It is his 5th term. Katja Döner representing the Grün, Alexander Graf for FDP, and Claudia Lücking for CDU were elected from regional lists. This is the old town hall of Bonn in the Baroque style. This is the former Princess Palace, but now it's Bonn University. And the Bonn Minster in Roman style. The main palace, the Marktplatz Square, this is statue of Beethoven. And this, yes, the famous street with the sakura flower in the April and May attracts lots of tourism. And the Dragon Castle, which is not really far from Bonn. Now Cologne in German, Köln, and in Latin, Colonia, is the largest city of Germany's most populous federal state of North Rhine-Westphalia and the 4th most populous city in Germany, with slightly over 1 million inhabitants. Within its city boundaries, Cologne is the largest city on the Rhine and also the most populous city both of the Rhine-Ruhr metropolitan region, which is Germany's largest and one of Europe's major metropolitan areas, and of the Rhineland. Centered on the left bank of the Rhine, Cologne is about 45 kilometers southeast of North Rhine-Westphalia's capital of Düsseldorf and 25 kilometers northwest of Bonn. It is the largest city in the Central Franconian and Ripuarian dialect areas. The country Germany, state North Rhine-Westphalia, administrative region Cologne, urban district of Germany, government, the major is Henriette-Lecke. The area 405.15 square kilometers with about 1,087,863 inhabitants of population. this vehicle K as history. The Roman Cologne. Magnus, who was elected as bishop in 313, was the first known bishop of Cologne. The city was the capital of a Roman province until it was occupied by the Ripuarian Franks in 462. Parts of the original Roman sewers were preserved under earth. The city, with the new sewerage system having opened in 1890. Middle Ages. In 953, the archbishops of Cologne first gained noteworthy secular power when Bishop Bruno was appointed as duke by his brother Otto I, King of Germany, in order to weaken the secular nobility who threatened his power. Otto endowed Bruno and his archiepiscopal successors with the prerogatives of secular princes, thus establishing the electorate of Cologne, formed by the temporal possessions of the archbishop, and included in the end of a strip of territory along the left bank of the Rhine east of Jülich, as well as the Duchy of Westphalia on the other side of the Rhine, beyond Berg and Mark. By the end of the 12th century, the Archbishop of Cologne was one of the 7 electors of the Holy Roman Empire. Besides being Prince Elector, he was Archchancellor of Italy as well, technically from 1238 and permanently from 1263 until 1803. Besides its economic and political significance, Cologne also became an important center of medical pilgrimage when Cologne's Archbishop Reinhard of Dassel gave the relics of the 3 whistle men to Cologne's cathedral in 1164. Besides the 3 major, Cologne preserves the relics of Saint Ursula and Albertus Magnus. The early modern history. The free imperial city of Cologne mustn't be confused with the electorate of Cologne, which was a state of its own within the Holy Roman Empire. Since the second half of the 16th century, the majority of archbishops were drawn from the Bavaria dynasty. Due to the free status of Cologne, the archbishops were usually not allowed to enter the city. Thus, they took up a residence in Bonn and later in Bleu on the Rhine. As members of an influential and powerful family, and supported by their outstanding status as electors, the archbishops of Cologne repeatedly challenged and threatened the free status of Cologne during the 17th and 18th centuries, resulting in complicated affairs which were handled by diplomatic means and propaganda as well as by the Supreme Courts of the Holy Roman Empire. From the 19th century until World War II, Cologne lost its status as a free city during the French period. According to the Peace Treaty of Lunéville, all the territories of the Holy Roman Empire on the left bank of the Rhine were officially incorporated into the French Republic. Thus, this region later became part of Napoleon's empire. Cologne was part of the French department Rose, with Aachen as its capital. During the 19th and 20th centuries, Cologne absorbed numerous surrounding towns, and by World War I, First World War, had already grown to 700,000 inhabitants. Industrialization changed the city and separated its growth. Vehicle and engine manufacturing was especially successful, though the heavy industry was less ubiquitous than in the rural area. The cathedral started in 1248, but abandoned around 1560, was eventually finished in 1888. 1880, not just as a place of worship, but also as a German national monument, celebrating the newly founded German Empire and the continuity of the German nation since the Middle Ages. And then, during World War I, Cologne was the target of several minor air raids but suffered no significant damage. Cologne was occupied by the British Army of the Rhine until 1926, under the terms of the armistice and the subsequent Versailles Peace Treaty. In contrast with the harsh behavior of the French occupation troops in Germany, the British forces were more linked to the local population. Konrad Adenauer, the mayor of Cologne from 1917 until 1933, and later a West German chancellor, acknowledged the political impact of this approach, especially since Britain had opposed French demands for a permanent Allied occupation of the entire island. This is Cologne. So the TV tower, the Cologne Köln Dome, the Cathedral of Cologne, and this is the central station. This is the Hohenzollern Bridge. The World War II. During World War II, Cologne was a military area command headquarters for the military district, the 6th of Münster. And the devastation was recorded by Clausen from 1942 until the end of the war, and presented in his exhibition and the book of 1947, Singing in the Furnace. Cologne was taken by the American First Army in early March 1945. The synagogue in Lohnstrasse was rebuilt in 1959. The post-war Cologne until today. In 1945, architect and urban planner Rudolf Schwarz called Cologne the world's greatest heap of rubble. Schwarz designed the master plan for reconstruction in 1947, which included the construction of several new thoroughfares through the city center, especially the north-south part. The master plan took into consideration the fact that even shortly after the war, a large increase in automobile traffic could be anticipated. Plans for new roads had already, to a certain degree, evolved under the Nazi administration, but the actual construction became easier when most of the city center was in ruins. In 1959, the city's population reached pre-war numbers again. It then grew steadily, exceeding 1 million for about 1 year from 1975. It remained just below that until mid 2010 or 2010, when it exceeded 1 million again. Post-reunification. In the 1980s and 1990s, Cologne's economy prospered for two main reasons: due to the economic success of the Cologne Trade Fair, and city arranged a large extension to the fair site in 2005. Cologne was the focus of the 2015-16 New Year's Eve sexual assaults in Germany, with over 500 women reporting that they were sexually assaulted by persons of African and Arab appearances. Government. The local mayor of Cologne is Heinrich Lecker. She received 52.66% of the vote at the municipal election on the 17th October 2015 and was appointed on the 15th December in 2015. City councillors were elected for a 5-year term, and the mayor has a 6-year term. Makeup of City Council: SDP 27 seats, CDU 24 seats, the Green Party 18 seats, the Left 6 seats, FDP 5 seats, AFD 3 seats, Priority Party Germany 2 seats, Pro Cologne 2 seats, Free Voters 1 seat. This is Cologne. This is Cologne Cathedral, the Rhine River, and the Roman-style St. Martin's Church, just beside the Cologne Cathedral. And this is the Cologne Cathedral with Gothic style and with the cross. You see the Rhine River. Here it is the central station. It's just behind it, and beside there's a Roman museum. Roman German Museum. This is inside the Cologne Cathedral. The Three Kings took it from Milan to Germany by the Barbarossa. This is the railway bridge across the Rhine River called Hohenzollern Bridge. Hohenzollern is a large family in Prussia. Okay, thank you very much. Hope you all like it. If you liked, please subscribe, like, and share it. And see you.